Hello everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video on log analysis. So I have here a log file. This particular file logs calls. So you'll see on the left here, this left-hand pane, this is call.log opened up here. You have a date and a time, a little information, and then you have an array. So you have the from, to, an ID, a conversation ID, status, the direction, so inbound, outbound, and then a timestamp. And then for connected calls, you have duration, network, all kinds of different data points you may need to address in any particular challenge. And you'll see in the bottom right, I have some regular expression one-liners cooked up here. So this first one, I'll just copy and paste that up here. So this, let me get rid of that coloring. Okay. So cat, so that's just pulling the contents of the file. So I guess we can go one at a time to see what it's actually doing. Well, maybe it's best to do the whole thing first. So 104, what is that, right? So the first step is to get the contents of the file and just dump them out like that. So that's just catting the file. So that's the same thing we see over there on the left. And then we're grepping a line. So grep I is to grep or only output the lines that have this, which is conversation ID. So we're getting all the conversation IDs essentially. So there we have that. So once we have that, we can sort it. So that's going to put them in order, and you'll see duplicates here. They're all in order. And the reason we sort it is because unique, which will get rid of all duplicates, only works when sorted. So you'll need to do a sort before unique typically. So now we have only unique lines. So we have all the conversation IDs, only unique lines. And then lastly, we're going to do a word count, -L, so that's a line count. That's what that means. 104. So this 104 is essentially how many conversations there are. So how many calls were successfully made. And that is one way of getting this information. You could write a Python script for it. We'll talk a bit about Python scripts at the end. You could use Excel. You would need to clean up the data still. And at that point, this would probably be easier to do anyways than to clean it up and put it in Excel. So what if we now wanted to know what the longest duration was for a call? So the next one-liner we have is this one here. And if you look on the left here, we have that duration field. So that's kind of what we're going to look for. We're going to look for all of these. We're grepping, back to the right here, we're grepping all the lines that have duration on them. We're going to talk about awk. So firstly, let's run that. So then we have this. So then you see here, it's separated by spaces. So you have really three columns with this output once we grep it. And with that, I never ran the last command. I'll have to copy that again or paste it. So awk can be used to grab a particular field. So that's what this $3 is. We're grabbing the third field. So we just run that. So then we have all of those, right? And then lastly, I can just add the sort. And -N is, I believe, oops, what did I do wrong? Cannot open. Did I do something? Oh, no, silly me. Forgot the pipe. So between every command, you have to pipe it to the next. So there you go. And then that sorts it by number. And then the last one is 4,834. I believe that's seconds with this particular log. It doesn't really matter, but that is the longest duration. Oh, and I should mention for any of these commands, you can always do man whatever the command, and then you can see the different options. And the one we use there is this one, compare according to string numerical value. That's -n. Okay, so this next one's a little complicated, but so we're looking at 4 here. If you look on the bottom right, so the question for this one would be, on what day was the most phone calls started? So you, for the statuses here, you have completed, ringing, and I'm looking on the left here, and started, and I think there's completed. So there's a bunch of statuses, right? So let's copy this one in and kind of go bit by bit. Paste. So we start by just dumping the contents of the file, and we've seen that earlier. And we're going to grep -a2 started. So what that does is it greps the line, all lines that have started, and then the A2 is 2 lines after. So that looks like this. So you have, this is what we grepped, and then 2 lines after. And that's a pattern based on, we recognize that in the file here. So let me find one that says started. I know I had one a second ago. What was that? Oh, started. So here. So we know that when a phone call started, it has direction and timestamp. So really what we care about, we're confirming that this entry is a started call, and we really would just want this date. So we're going to work on cleaning it up to get that. So -v, we're going to have 2 of those. -v, think of it as negating, it's like the opposite of grep, right? So you're negating lines that have direction. You're negating lines that have status. So we're getting rid of these top 2 lines with this. So that leaves us with our last one. And now we have a pattern similar to what we had earlier, where we have really 3 fields separated by spaces. So then we know we can use awk. So then we're doing, happens to be the 3rd field again. So we're going to pipe into awk, get that 3rd field, and then we're going to cut -d on t. And this is, I believe F1 would be field 1. So we didn't talk about cut, but it's yet another command line tool that we can use. So this T here, right there. So that's the T we're referencing. So that's our delineator, -d, delineate T, field 1. And again, you can look at the man page for cut if you want to look into that. Oh, let me add the F1. So boom, we have the first field. Then we'll go, I'll just show you one more time what it looked like prior. So that's what it looked like prior. So we're just taking this the first section here. So really, like normally delineator would be like a comma or something, right? So it would be this day, comma, and then this. But we're saying it's T. So it's this first field, T, then this. So if you think of it that way. And then we're going to send it to sort. We're just going to do quick sort. We always sort before we do anything with unique. And -c is a count of those. So it's for every unique entry, we're going to do a count of how many entries there were. So each day, so we already have the information we need pretty much. So we have the days, and then how many calls were started on each of those days is what we're getting here. And then sort by number. So there we go. So here we are, 14. There's our day. I should add, if you ever want to send your data to a file, so this is all of our call durations. So let's say you want to take this and do a average of it in Excel. You can just, here's a command here, throw on one of these, and then just put the file you want to put it in, and then that'll create the file in your current working directory. So then you can just copy and paste this, or however you want to get it to Excel. It's up to you, but